In a small village, there was a young shepherd boy who tended his flock of sheep at the foot of a mountain. Bored and seeking some excitement, he decided to play a trick on the villagers. He ran toward the village shouting, "Wolf! Wolf! There's a wolf attacking the sheep." The villagers rushed to help him, but when they arrived, they found no wolf, only the boy laughing at their expense. The boy enjoyed the joke so much that he repeated it several times, each time convincing the villagers there was a wolf. One day, a real wolf appeared. The boy, now genuinely frightened, ran to the village shouting, "Wolf! Wolf! There's a wolf attacking the sheep!" But this time, the villagers, tired of his false alarms, did not believe him. They thought it was just another trick and did not come to help. The wolf attacked the flock and the boy lost many sheep. The boy learned a harsh lesson. When you lie, even once, people may not believe you when you're telling the truth. Trust, once broken, is hard to restore. If this story about honesty and trust resonates with you, please like and subscribe for more timeless tales with valuable lessons.
In the early 20th century, in a small, modest apartment in New York City, lived a young couple named Jim and Della. They were deeply in love but struggled financially. As Christmas approached, both were eager to give each other the perfect gift, despite their limited means. Della had beautiful long hair that flowed down to her waist, her most prized possession. Jim, on the other hand, had a gold pocket watch passed down from his grandfather, which he treasured dearly. However, their love for each other far surpassed any material possession they owned. Determined to buy Jim a worthy gift, Della decided to sell her hair. She went to a wig maker who bought her hair for $20, enough to buy a platinum fob chain for Jim's watch. Meanwhile, Jim sold his precious watch to buy a set of beautiful combs for Della's hair. On Christmas Eve, they exchanged their gifts. When Jim saw the chain, he was stunned and heartbroken, but touched by Della's sacrifice. When Della opened her gift and saw the combs, she burst into tears, not of sadness, but of joy mixed with the bittersweet realization of their mutual sacrifices. Through their selfless acts of love, Jim and Della learned that the greatest gifts come from the heart, and that true love is about giving up what you value most for the happiness of another.
Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, there lived a swift and boastful hare. He was proud of his speed and often mocked the slower animals. Among these was a humble tortoise, who grew tired of the hare's arrogance and proposed a race. The hare, confident in his speed, laughed and agreed to the challenge. The race course was set, and all the animals of the forest gathered to watch. At the starting line, the hare zoomed off, quickly leaving the tortoise far behind. Certain of his victory, the hare decided to take a nap midway through the race, thinking he had plenty of time to spare. Meanwhile, the tortoise plodded along steadily, never stopping or wavering. His slow and steady pace eventually brought him past the sleeping hare. When the hare awoke, he was horrified to see the tortoise nearing the finish line. Despite his frantic sprint, the hare could not catch up in time. The tortoise crossed the finish line first, winning the race. The forest erupted in cheers for the tortoise, who had proven that perseverance and determination can outmatch arrogance and haste. The hare learned a valuable lesson in humility and never underestimated the other animals again. If this story about perseverance and humility resonates with you, please like and subscribe for more timeless tales with valuable lessons.
In a faraway kingdom, there was an emperor who loved new clothes above all else. He spent vast sums of money to be always dressed in the finest garments. One day, two swindlers came to the city, claiming they could weave the most exquisite fabrics imaginable. These clothes, they said, were invisible to anyone who was unfit for their position or hopelessly stupid. The emperor, intrigued by the idea, paid the swindlers a large sum of money to begin their work. The swindlers set up looms and pretended to weave, though there was nothing on the looms at all. Ministers and officials, sent by the emperor to check on the progress, saw nothing but dared not admit it. They feared being deemed unfit or stupid, and so praised the invisible fabric. Finally, the day came for the emperor to wear his new clothes in a grand procession. The swindlers dressed him in the imaginary garments, and the emperor marched through the city, naked but proud. The townspeople, not wanting to seem foolish, praised the emperor's magnificent clothes. It was a child who finally spoke out. "But he isn't wearing anything at all." The emperor realized the truth, but continued the procession, more humbled than ever before. He learned that honesty and integrity are more valuable than pride and vanity.
In the 13th century, Genghis Khan, the founder of the Mongol Empire, was known for his military genius and unifying a vast territory. His empire stretched from the steppes of Mongolia to the edges of Europe, and his leadership was marked by both fierce battles and deep wisdom. Despite his fearsome reputation, Genghis Khan valued loyalty and wisdom above all. One of the most poignant stories from his life illustrates the importance of mercy and understanding. One crisp autumn day, Genghis Khan decided to go hunting with his favorite hawk. This hawk was not just any bird. It had been with him for many years, aiding him in countless hunts. The bond between Genghis Khan and his hawk was one of mutual respect and trust. As they ventured deep into the forest, the emperor felt confident and at peace, knowing his faithful companion was by his side. Hours passed, and Genghis Khan, having had little success in his hunt, grew tired and thirsty. He came across a stream and eagerly filled his cup to drink. But just as he was about to quench his thirst, his hawk swooped down and knocked the cup from his hands. Startled and slightly annoyed, Genghis Khan tried again to drink, but once more the hawk intervened. Frustration welled up within him. He couldn't understand why his trusted companion was behaving so erratically. In a moment of anger, feeling betrayed and desperate for water, Genghis Khan drew his sword and killed the hawk. As the bird lay dead, Genghis Khan's eyes fell upon its lifeless body, and a pang of guilt and sorrow washed over him. With a heavy heart, he continued upstream, determined to drink directly from the source. To his horror, he discovered a poisonous snake lying dead in the water, contaminating the stream. The realization struck him like a thunderbolt. His loyal hawk had been trying to save his life. Genghis Khan knelt beside his fallen friend, filled with remorse. He gently picked up the hawk's body, vowing never to act in anger or haste again. This incident taught him a profound lesson. Sometimes, those who seem to obstruct us are actually looking out for our best interests. From that day forward, Genghis Khan carried the memory of his hawk and the lesson it had imparted. He became more patient and thoughtful, listening to his advisors and warriors with a newfound understanding and respect. This change in him resonated through his empire, fostering a culture of loyalty and wisdom. Just like Genghis Khan, we should take a moment to understand and trust those around us, especially when their actions are puzzling. If this story resonates with you, please like and subscribe for more inspiring tales from history. The gold coin. In the bustling town of Alberia, a humble cobbler named Martin lived a simple life. His shop, though small, was known for the quality of his work and his honesty. Despite his modest means, Martin was content and well respected in his community. One day, as he was walking home from the market, Martin noticed something glinting in the dirt road. Curious, he bent down and discovered a gold coin. It was unlike any he had ever seen, with intricate engravings and a weight that suggested it was very valuable. Martin's heart raced with excitement and a bit of fear. Unsure of what to do, Martin decided to seek the counsel of Father Thomas, the town's wise and kind priest. Father Thomas examined the coin and said, "This is a rare and valuable coin indeed. But remember, Martin, that great wealth can bring both blessings and burdens." Martin thanked Father Thomas and decided to use the coin wisely. He paid off his small debts, bought better tools for his trade, and still had a substantial amount left. News of Martin's newfound wealth spread quickly through the town. People began to treat Martin differently. Some showed envy, others sought to borrow money, and a few questioned how a simple cobbler had come by such a fortune. Martin, who had always been a private and humble man, found himself at the center of attention. As time passed, Martin noticed changes within himself as well. He became more guarded, less trusting, and often worried about the safety of his remaining wealth. He realized that the gold coin, which had initially seemed like a blessing, was now a source of constant anxiety. One day, a poor old woman came to Martin's shop with worn-out shoes. She could barely afford to pay him but needed the shoes to find work. Martin, moved by her plight, decided to repair her shoes for free. The gratitude and joy in her eyes reminded him of the simple satisfaction he used to feel from helping others. Reflecting on this, Martin decided to use the rest of his wealth to benefit his community. He funded the construction of a school, supported the local orphanage, and helped families in need. The burden of wealth lifted. Martin found himself once again embraced by the community, not for his money, but for his generosity and kindness. Martin's actions inspired others in Alberia to be more giving and compassionate. The town flourished as a result, and Martin's life regained its peace and purpose. He learned that true wealth lies not in the accumulation of money, but in the strength of one's character and the impact one has on others.